Hey everybody, this is July the 21st, 2025, and I got a quick message. A friend of mine called me yesterday morning, and she said, I think I'm getting dementia. She said, I woke up this morning and my head's all foggy and fuzzy, and I'm kind of dizzy, and I can't remember anything. My brain's all just like distorted, and I feel like I'm disoriented, and I'm I'm I feel like I'm getting dementia, or like my cognitive function is declining. And she said, I'm scared. You know, I gotta do something. I gotta go see the doctor. I said, no, don't go to the doctor. Don't rush off to the doctors, because they're just gonna diagnose you with dementia or Alzheimer's, and they're gonna put you on one of their pharmaceutical drugs that's gonna put you on a downward slope to death. Their drugs do not heal you. They slowly kill you. So no, you don't want to do that. You're being hit in the head with directed energy weapons. This is the energy weapons doing this. I've had this happen, and I have it happen sometimes if I don't wear my bubble full hat at night, if I don't wear it to bed, or I want to try something different, and I don't have my head covered with the foil, I'll wake up like that. I'll wake up with like dizziness and memory loss and being disoriented. So know that it's the energy weapons hitting the head. So this is what I told her. I said, get you a piece of aluminum foil. Now this is the thin kind. It's better to have the heavy duty Reynolds aluminum foil if you got it. And take this foil and put it over your head, form it over your head, form it around your head, form it around your hair, real tight, and then put you a cap on top of it and wear this. Wear this during the day and wear this at night and see if it makes a difference, because this will help to protect you from the frequencies from hitting your head, okay? And I showed her about my bubble foil hat, but also I want to show you my cap, because y'all know I always wear a cap, especially when I'm doing videos. But if I go to town, I'm wearing a cap. Inside my caps that I wear, I have aluminum foil tucked up inside my caps. That is to protect my head from the frequencies when they hit me, okay? And you can tuck it up in there, to where nobody can see it. They can't see that you're wearing it. This is another way you can protect your head when you're outside or when you're out and about or doing whatever. You can put it inside of a cap. You can also use any kind of cap, any kind of hat, and just tuck aluminum foil down. This will help protect your head from the frequencies. If you don't protect your head from these frequencies, they can give you dementia. They can give you Alzheimer's. So you have to take steps to protect yourself. And then the one that I wear at night has got the bubble foil in it, tucked up in it, and then I wear a sheet of aluminum foil on top of that, or on the bottom, and then I put the cap on top of that. This has helped protect my head. So many people are getting dementia and being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and they don't know about the energy weapons. They don't know that the energy weapons are hitting their head and causing this, okay? Also, you can use castor oil. If you wake up in the mornings and you're real dizzy and you're nauseous and you got vertigo and the whole room is spinning around, A quick solution. A quick solution is castor oil. You take you some cold pressed castor oil that you get from the health food store, and you saturate your head with this castor oil. You make sure you penetrate the scalp with it. This castor oil will help block the frequencies and the radiation when they hit your head. That's another thing you can do. Also, if you're having a lot of the nausea and dizziness, you can take 2 cotton balls and soak them in castor oil. Wear them inside your ears for earplugs. This will help with the nausea and the dizziness. Another thing you want to do, if you're having any issues with your brain or with your head, is you want to make sure that you use a good organic shampoo when you wash your hair. Just a regular old shampoo won't work. You need something that's strong, that will penetrate the scalp and remove the nanotechnology from the scalp. Because they're still spraying us with the nanotechnology. We're being infected every day. So you have to keep up the detox. So you want to use a good organic shampoo like either tea tree oil or one of your organic shampoos you can get at your health food store. Or you can use sulfur shampoos. You can use Dr. Bronner's soap. Or you can just take your regular shampoo and make your own organic shampoo. You can add essential oils to your regular shampoo, like orange oil or frankincense or thyme or something that's really strong enough to where it will penetrate the skin and remove the nanotechnology from the scalp. Okay? These are things that we have to do. First of all, you have to realize that you're not getting dementia, you're under attack, okay? You're under attack by directed energy weapons. This is the first thing you need to know in order to combat it, okay? If you don't know that you're being hit with energy weapons, you're going to run to the doctor and panic, and then you know what comes next. The tests, the drugs, the treatment, all that, yeah. So that's why I'm making this video, so that people will know and be aware of what's going on, what's happening. That you have to take steps to protect your head. You have to protect your whole body. But specifically, if you're having signs of memory loss, dementia, or even if maybe you've already been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and you're on some kind of drug for it, you can start right now doing these things that I'm talking about, and you'll see an improvement in your Alzheimer's. If you want to do that. And almost all of my elderly patients, almost all of them have dementia. They all have the memory loss and dementia, and some of them have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. But there's not a whole lot that I can do to help them, because when they get elderly like that, you cannot try to talk to them. You can't talk to an elderly person that's bedridden about energy weapons. First of all, they're not going to even know what you're talking about, and so they're not going to believe you. So you can't do it, not for an elderly person. You can try to talk to their children or their family, but most of the time you get nowhere with that either. So I see a lot of this happening. I see a lot of the elderly saying, I don't know what's the matter with me today. It's like I'm just not here. It's like, I can't even remember if I took my medicine or not. Or I can't even remember if I did this or that, if they're hitting the elderly. They're hitting the young people. They're hitting everyone, okay? So this is important. Okay, this is important. If you're having signs of dementia, if you're having a lot of memory loss, or maybe you've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's already, you can try these things and see if it helps to improve your mind, okay? I don't take any kind of medications. I don't take pharmaceutical drugs. I use all organic products, and then whatever I have around my house that will work. I don't run to the doctor every time I get a little dizzy or nauseous or start throwing up because I know what it is. I don't run to the doctor every time I walk in their bedroom and forget what I come in there for. No, I just run and grab my hat and put it on and put my earplugs in. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves. We have to learn, be aware of what's happening, and then learn how to protect yourself, okay? Once you learn how to protect yourself, then you'll be able to help other people, because when they call you up on the phone and they're panicking and they're freaking out and saying, I've got dementia, you can tell that, no, you don't. This is what you do, okay? So more people that know about this and start treating themselves, the more they'll be able to help others. And this is how we can stop all of this other corruptness and all this. We can stop the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies and all this from killing people, okay? They're just killing people. You diagnose somebody with Alzheimer's that don't have Alzheimer's, you just put them on a death trip. Because when you get Alzheimer's, you're on a downward slope. You can't do that. They can't keep doing this to people. People need to know what's happening to them, what's making them sick, and then they need to know how to treat themselves at home. At home, themselves. They need to learn how to treat themselves. Okay. That's really all I wanted to talk about today. There was one other thing that happened to me that I need to throw in right quick with my head, because on one of those nights when I wasn't wearing my bubble foil cap, I started getting these noises, or I guess you call it the V2K, these noises in my head, and it sounded like snorting sounds in my head, and when I doze off, I'd hear like these sometimes grunting sounds or snorting sounds or scraping sounds or screeching sounds in my head. And that's when I hear that, okay, when I start hearing these crazy sounds in my head, then I know that the energy weapons are hitting my head, okay? And most of the time it's right back here behind the ears. That's where it's going to be, behind the ears, directly behind the ears, or back here at the brain stem. Where when they hit you in those areas, they can cause your head to go into chaos. So right quick, what I do for this is I get up, I get my castor oil, and I put castor oil drops in both ears, put the cotton balls in, and then I take my 2 magnets. I don't have my magnets with me, but I take my 2 magnets, I put on a swim cap, I put on a tight swim cap that'll hold the magnets in place, and then I slide the magnets up under the swim cap right behind my ears, right behind each ear. And the swim cap will pull it down to where it will hold those magnets in place. And those magnets behind your ears will deactivate those implants behind your ears, because if you're a target individual, you most likely got the implants behind your ears. And the magnets will deactivate them. So that's what I do when I get all these, when they start hitting my head and I get all these sounds in my head. Sometimes the castor oil drops in the ears will work. That'll stop it. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it's not enough and I have to do the magnets. So I would suggest you try the castor oil first. If that doesn't work, and and you still get woke up in the middle of the night by all these sounds in your head, then try the magnets along with the castor oil. I want to throw that in because that's also part of them hitting that. That's part of what happens when they hit your head, is you get those noises in your head, and they call it the V2K or whatever. You got to get on top of that. You cannot let that go, because once they start hitting you with that V2K, if you don't stop it right then, it's going to escalate, and it's going to get to where it'll get to where it'll drive you crazy. So all these things that I just showed you, you can do for the V2K too. You can put the foil over your head. You can put the castor oil on your head. There are other things that you can saturate your head with if you don't want to use castor oil. In the beginning, when I started having the V2K, I started using the vodka detox. And I got a video about the vodka detox and how to make that if anybody's interested. There's a video about it. I just started pouring the vodka. Every time I wake up in the middle of the night with those screeching sounds in my head, I'd get up and I'd pour vodka over my head and leave it on there. Put a cap over my head and go back to bed. Most of the time that would help. When the frequencies hit your head gets inflamed, you start having all these noises in your head, the vodka will help with the inflammation. It'll help stop the V2K. There's other things you can use. You can use essential oils, but a lot of those essential oils, they will burn the scalp. You need to know that, especially if it's orange oil or peppermint oil or something like that. A lot of them will burn. They'll burn, okay? If you can stand it, which I have done this when I didn't have anything else, I just saturated my scalp with orange oil, and it burned, but I just kind of bared it until it was over. Then it was when it stopped burning. After about 15 minutes, it stopped burning. But it will help to deactivate the nanotechnology in the head, and the V2K, the noises in the head will go away, okay? I know there's a lot of people out there that are having the V2K, that are having the noises inside their head. I know there are, because I talk to people who tell me about it. All these things that you use for the dementia and memory loss and all that, you can use all of these for the V2K too. I think that covers about everything for the head right now. I do want to come back later and talk about another subject. Talk about these flashes of light that's coming through my bathroom window and hitting me in the back. I want to talk about that later on. So that's all for right now, folks. Stay safe, stay heart-centered in meditation, and stay in the light. I love you guys.